So hi everyone, today I'm going to run you through two of the basic points of classical theory, and understanding these 2 points would really help you to understand the whole macroeconomic school of thoughts. And so the most basic point that we talk of in classical theory is full employment. Understanding full employment is a very crucial part of understanding these two basic points because they are solely based on the assumption of full employment. So when do we say that an economy is at full employment? So full employment means that anyone who's looking for a job will get a job. So suppose the wage rate in the economy is $5, and there's a person who says that I don't want to work at $5. So he is unemployed, but however, he is unemployed according to his will. It is not that he wants to work and he is not getting the work. Is that he chose to be unemployed. So his unemployment is not involuntarily in nature. It is voluntary, means he is choosing to be unemployed. So the nature of unemployment in this case is voluntary. So if suppose I have many individuals in the economy who are voluntarily unemployed, then also I can say that my economy is at full employment, because full employment means a person who, suppose there is a person who wants to get a job at this $5. He is unemployed, but however he wants to get a job at this $5, so he is involuntarily unemployed. So he is unemployed according to against his will. So these kind of people cannot exist in a full employment economy. So these kind of people, the voluntarily unemployed people, can exist in a full employment economy, but note that the involuntarily unemployed people cannot exist in a full employment economy. So I can cancel this one. So full employment means that there is no involuntarily unemployment. But however, note that under full employment, there can be people who are voluntarily unemployed, means they are not actively searching for a job at that wage rate. So now talking about voluntary unemployment. Suppose the wage rate now rises to $6. Now these unemployed say, now I want to work since I am getting a higher wage rate. So they go to an economy and start looking for a job. So now they are unemployed, but they are involuntarily unemployed. So now the economy is out of full employment. But classicals believe that this cannot happen. If the wage rate rises to $6 and these unemployed who were previously really voluntarily unemployed start looking for a job, will get a job. So this is the notion of full employment. I hope it is clear. Now we move to the two basic points of classical theory. So how does an economy achieve full employment? Two basic assumptions are required for achieving full employment. So one of the basic assumption is Say's law. So what does Say's law say? That supply creates its own demand. So what is the meaning of this, friends? That suppose a producer is producing 1,000 units of goods. So the supply in the economy is 1,000. This 1,000 units of goods would be automatically demanded by the consumers. So supply would automatically equal to demand. So there can be never a situation when there is deficiency of demand. So there can be never a situation when there is deficiency of demand. Whatever is supplied will be demanded. And why does it hold true? So it holds true because when a supply is created, workers get wages. And when they get wages, this is their income. They spend their income on goods and this creates my demand. So again, when demand is created, my supply would be equal to demand. So now you will say that why full employment is related to this. So basically, this supply is determined by my full employment level of output. So suppliers supply that much amount of goods such that there is full employment in the economy, YF, that we discussed earlier. So basically, suppliers cannot just arbitrarily choose their level of supply. They will choose that level of supply where my labor demand, denoted by ND, is equal to my labor supply, denoted by NS. And when this is equal, there is a corresponding level of output which would be supplied by the workers, by the producers. So this assumption of full employment is very important, because this YF will be equal to supply, and which will be equal to demand, and thus this YF would be the prevalent level of full employment in the economy, and thus my full employment YF is maintained in the economy. Friends, if you can't get ND is equal to NS here, you can refer to one of my videos whose link is in the description box. Now we move on to the second assumption, which is required for maintaining full employment level of output. And this basic assumption is wage price flexibility. So now classical theorists say that even when my supply is not equal to demand, so suppose there is a case when my supply is greater than demand. So what would happen in this case? We know that there is a lot of supply in the economy. So as there is oversupply, my prices would adjust downward. And friends, we know that when there is a fall in price, there is a rise in demand. And demand would rise till the supply is equal to the new demand. And hence, economy achieves its new equilibrium. So friends, again, this price flexibility just gives a more solid base to the full employment assumption, because in an economy where prices adjust, then my supply will automatically be equal to my demand, and we know that how is supply determined, how much output is supplied, YF. So in order to maintain the assumption of full employment, my prices have to be flexible, because then only my demand will rise, and then only my supply would be equal to my new demand, and equilibrium will be achieved in an economy. However, note that suppose producers supply anything other than YF, then this all does not guarantee us full employment, and it is not even optimum for the producers to produce anything other than YF. So producers always produce YF, and through two basic assumptions, that supply creates its own demand, and through price and wage flexibility, this is achieved. And now friends, I have not talked about wage flexibility. So wage flexibility is important because ND is equal to NS only when, to ensure this equilibrium in the economy, wage flexibility is very important. And for the details on this, you can refer to one of my video in the description box. Thank you friends. Subscribe to my channel, like the video and share it if you like it. Thank you friends.